What does engineering mean? In this video, we are answering that exact question. Hey, welcome, I'm Hayley Loren, and if this is your very first time here, I provide lots of help, tips and advice about engineering and becoming an engineer, and also I'll be doing lots of really cool interviews with awesome people and just general engineering stuff. So if that sounds good to you, then subscribe by clicking the subscribe button underneath this video and clicking the little bell that's right next to it as well. So we all have problems, like when we have our mobile phones, it runs out of battery, so we need to charge it by plugging it in and getting electricity, and sometimes we just want a cup of tea, so we need a kettle if we want to make one under 5 minutes. And there's the big stuff too, like we want clean water, we want heating for our homes, and sometimes we find it really cool if we want to just go to the moon or go to Mars. So how do these problems get solved? Engineering! Engineering is the application of science and maths to develop technology, software and systems that solve our problems. So a really great example of engineering is the telephone. Just think back to the early 1800s when they didn't have telephones. So just imagine like something really awesome happens, like you spot Ryan Reynolds walking down the street, or the 1800s equivalent, and you can't phone up your friend and be like, oh my god, I just saw Ryan Reynolds. You can't do that. You have to write a letter, which will take days. So when Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, he gave people the ability to communicate with each other quickly. Alex solved the problem by applying science to develop this idea, but there's more to engineering than that. The act of taking the idea about the telephone, designing it, and building something that actually worked and was commercially viable, that was engineering. The telephone was successful because not only did it allow people to communicate, but the whole design was pretty efficient and cost effective. This is why engineering isn't just about science and maths, it's about creativity, imagination and commercial viability. When we see all of these different things come together and work, that is when we find technology that is groundbreaking. And engineering isn't just about designing new things, no, it's about making other things better. Just think, right, about how many phones that you've got through. We've gone from just having a home phone to having mobile phones to having smartphones, and I swear it's like every 2 years that we seem to upgrade. To begin with, all we were concerned about was communicating and being able to speak on the phone, but now it's all about having the best camera so that we can take photos for Instagram and taking 4K videos as well. So basically our problems are changing over time and technology is becoming more and more integrated into our lives. And as that happens, engineering becomes a lot more important. I really hope that I've managed to convince you that engineering is pretty darn awesome. Every single piece of technology that you have in your life is because of engineering. It's so important. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe by clicking the subscribe button underneath this video along with the bell that's right next to it. What I want to know from you is, what do you think is the best technology that we have right now? Let me know in the comments because I'll be really interested.